Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web. And in this video we'll be looking at a bit more detail on the Librarian. We're doing the finer detail on his axe and his eyes, and I think there's a couple of other things as well I'm doing in this one. Again, it's the whole video itself, including this bit's about half an hour long. And for the details, there's plenty of them, and so it's going to take a little while to do them all, but as I say, I'll speed a few bits up. Same story each time, speed a few things up, cut a few things, but all the painting you see is just certain little things that I do cut out. There was something I wanted to point out in the video, but I can't remember what it was. Don't suppose it matters. I have already done one of the Gene Stealers just to check the colours, and I do quite like the colours. I'm going to start making you feel sick now. We're just swaying from side to side. Ha 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 ha. Oh god, I've put myself off. I'm looking at doing a few more of the Kings of War videos as well. I've got a few more figures to paint, and I've got my full zombie 60-man squad that I've already based up. It's looking quite scary, and along with my ghoul squad of I think 30s at 40. I'm getting on my way to have a decent time before Kings of War. But this is not about Kings of War, it's about Space Hulk, and as it's the Librarian, I think we're getting very near the end of the series for this. Not so much to do. I think we may have one, possibly two more videos, but as I say, it's all detail work now, so that's the bit that takes the time. But hopefully I can get it finished pretty soon, or this series finished pretty soon, and I'm hoping I can start painting the others as well. I've not had a chance to paint anything at the moment. Things have been happening, but there we go. That's enough about that. It's painting the Librarian time, so enjoy the video. Purity seal that I should have done in the red. But we can do that now. And I will do the Wazdaka red. And I also want to just turt up the robe there, because we've got a little bit of the gold paint on it. So if I just do a quick highlight there, and then I can just go over the purity seal here, and there's one here as well which I didn't see. I saw the purity seal, I just didn't see I saw the ribbons, I just didn't see the purity seal itself. And there's another one. Oh, in fact I must have done the purity seals. I thought I'd done them all for this model. Oh well, obviously not, so looking at it now. Okay, what I also want to do while I've got the red out is the detail on the axe. And that's going to be the bolt here. And this is a tricky one because there's a very fine bit at the bottom which I don't want to go over the black with. Okay, so that's that bit done. Is done at the back, there is, but you can't see much of this one, so we can get away with just a quick touch here and there, like so. And now on the axe head itself. A little bit more paint on my brush. So that's that. And what we'll do now is change brushes to a much finer one. And this is going to be one of my new brushes because I want to get some serious detail on this now. Okay, so which one do we have? Detail brush, no. Standard brush, no. Fine detail brush, you'll do. I want to change that red for an orange. And where we've done the red on the axe, we're going to be going over with orange, and again we're not going over all of this with the orange, we're leaving the very extremities of the red showing through. But we are going so far with the orange, we're trying to make it look as though it's a flame. And if we don't get on the red covered, I'm not worried about that because it'll just add to it. We don't necessarily have to have the red covered. I'll just add a little bit of orange to there, and now we'll do the back of the axe. And I'm trying, in case you hadn't noticed, to get it so that it finishes in roughly the same area on each of these designs. There we are. I'll just touch up a little bit here because it's looking as though the orange is beginning to dull down as it's drying. Okay. That's that part done, and now we will change from orange to yellow. The orange I used was Troll Slayer orange. There you go. The yellow is Flashgates yellow. And we're going to do a similar thing with this. But again, we're not going to be covering all of the orange. We're going to be covering a very small amount. And again, if we don't get all the orange covered, as long as we've got the bit near the skull covered in the yellow, that is all that matters, because we're trying to get it looking as though it's like as I said, flame design. No, not a flame design, flame colours. So the hotter areas will be at the base of it, which will be the areas near the skull. In case you, and just in case you hadn't noticed, I'm not using the point of the brush so much as the side of the brush. And that will give detail where it looks as though the flame is actually on the edge. You can actually go with this yellow on the edge of the red, but only on the edge, if you wish. There you go. So there's the axe. I forgot that bit on the handle. I'll just do that little touch there, and along the edge, and that's it for the yellow. Okay, next what I want to do is use this brush again, and with my incredibly unsteady hands I'm going to try using white scar to paint in the whites of the eyes. Like so. I'm not a great fan of, oh for crying out loud, and that's the reason why I'm not a great fan of doing eyes. I usually leave them in shadow, but so I'm trying to do this to the best of my ability and hope that I can actually do it to the best of my ability and not screw up too much. What does this say? If whatever mistakes I make, you know, I can always what's the word I'm looking for? I can always correct. better. Now I just need to add a touch of what colour should I use for the skin? Is that going to be, that looks as though it could be fairly similar, won't be exact, but it's just to I haven't highlighted there yet, so that may be as fine as I want it at the moment. But now the hard part, now the very hard part. This is the part I never look forward to when doing models, which is the reason why I stopped doing it in the first place. And every eye should have a pupil, such as, in the same way as every teacher should as well. Oh, hate this, hate this, hate this, hate this, hate this, hate this, hate this. He's going to look cross-eyed, I know he is. They usually do. That's as best as I can do. It's not looking good, but it's the best I can do. I hate doing eyes. Oh dear. Right, so I'm going to put this brush back. I'll finish with this for the time being. And what I'm going to do now is, using another brush, I'm going to try and find this paint again. The Gilliman Blue. Again, it's a glaze that I'm just going to go over the axe blade with again, just to give it that stronger blue look. I don't want it too blue, but I just want it to make it look as though it is metal blue. I'm going to be going over highlighting this again, but there we go. Mainly along the top that I want it. I've got to do that bit in black. There we are. Now, I've just clear my brush out, dried it. I'm just going to take those puddles off there because I don't like the look of them. That won't do fine. Now I'm just, with the black again, I won't do that round bit in the top of the axe head. black, wasn't it? Yeah. I was just checking then whether it was actually black or whether it was brown, because that's the handle that will go straight up. Okay, next we're going to be going with this. I wanted to do the base colour with Warplock Bronze and then dry brush with Dwarf Bronze. And that's what I wanted to do. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do, so that's what I'm going to do. And so the Warplock Bronze is the new version of Tin Bits. So I'm going to do this part here and the Warplock Bronze. Just like so. Oops, I was going to the wrong colour then. I'm going to do the whole of this head in Warplock Bronze, but I'm not going to do all of it in the Dwarf Bronze. There we are for that. Next I want to use white. While that is drying, we will use white to go over the pipe thingies on his arms, like I did when I did Brother Zael. So I think I may need that's okay. Thought for a second I needed a new brush, but I managed to get a half decent point on this one, so it's okay. It will do. It's not ideal, but safe faffing. And there's some areas again where if I go over accidentally I can always repair with the black. I think there's a few areas in Brother Zael that I need to do which I haven't done yet, but again, okay, so that bit is that, and then no it isn't, I've just done the wrong ones. Right, so if I wash my brush and then no, too late, it's dried. Right, because the inside is more difficult to get at, I am going to change the outside ones. I hope that makes sense, because this is quite fiddly to get at, so if I just give that going over in white. leave it to dry, and then I come back to it later. It should be okay. Now the axe head, or the top of the axe handle, should be fine now for going over with the dwarf bronze. So let's do that, shall we? And we are going to be highlighting this with a not a completely different colour, but more of a goldy colour than a bronzy colour. It gives a much brighter look to the bronze. There we are. Just gives that little difference instead of having it all silver and silver coloured. I'll just I've gone over all of this in some way with the dwarf bronze. I've made sure that the areas I wanted to cover completely are done, and I've just tickled over, caught, kind of like an accidental catch with the dwarf bronze in other areas, but it's the main areas that I want as the bronze is going to be highlighted anyway, so it's not going to make much of a difference what I do with those. Okay, let's get back to the black now and mark off where I went wrong. Okay, so that was one that was wrong. There we are. See, told you that was the easiest way of doing it. And I'll just go over the black pipe at the bottom here. And there we have it. Do I need to go over here somewhat? Yes, I do. And I'm going to have to use my fine detail brush to get in there with the I'll just manipulate this one to a point and try and get in there. That will do. Okay, and when that white has dried, we'll come back with the yellow. Found it. It's the very pale gold colour, Auric Armour Gold. And this is the one that's going to be going over, or will go over certain parts of this axe head, such as down here, there, I'm not doing a great deal on this, as you can see. I want to make sure it just gets certain areas, any raised areas. And there's the phone. Okay, so I'm going to have to leave it there, get the phone, and when I come back we'll continue.